Hello, YouTube world. My name is Anthony Long. Welcome back to the Bluegrass Picker Channel. You came back. How's it going, Eric? How you doing? Thanks for joining for a minute. I was going to list some stuff for my flea market booth and antique mall booth, and figure I'd come on and play a little guitar because this is what I'd be doing anyway. How you doing today, man? Yeah, I already mowed this morning. There's storms real close, and I'm caught up, and so my main days of mowing are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I got most of that done. So now I'm trying to hit my booths while I can. Should you be mowing yards? Yes. Man, it's a hard stretch. 2 to 5, 2 to 6, 2 to 7, 5 frets in between. So that's 6 frets. Ugh. AC/DC. That's ridiculous. Hey, how's it going, T? What up, Dave? How you doing? Well, thanks for giving me some watch hours. I appreciate it. Listen to some little Back in Black and a little Thunderstruck. What up, T? Yeah, definitely should be mowing. I don't really have anything to mow. It's kind of nice this time of year where I can kind of relax and mow at my own pace. Like I said, I'm caught up, so that's good to go. What are you doing today, Dave? Potential spam. No surprise. Work from home. Yep. I hear you. You're a reseller. You work from wherever you're at. It's pretty funny. I remember when the first. Who was I watching one time? Oh, Monster. What's his name? Gosh. Well, anyway, I forget his. Anyway, he would buy shoes in the Goodwill, list them before he's even checked out. He's already sold them before he even checks out. I was like, that's pretty smart. Talk about turnover rate. Good Lord, you know. But cell phones, you know, I rarely use mine until I started reselling. Then it's like, whoa. Because I remember when I first started doing eBay way back in the day, it was so hard to take pictures, download them on your computer. You could only get you could only have what was it, 2 or 3, and then you had to pay extra for every extra photo. They've just made it so much easier to just pop, you know. I don't know I'm sure everybody else does the same thing that I do, is take a bunch of pictures, and then that way you can, when you're stuck at the wherever, you know, where you don't want to be, then you can just start listing stuff. And a lot of times I'll do drafts before I even do the video, or before I do the pictures, just to see if it's worth it. I don't want to take a bunch of pictures of something that isn't going to sell, obviously. So I'll just have the drafts ready, the pictures are ready, so then I'll just go in and just fill in, you know. And I think a lot of people do that. Commonwealth Thicker taught me that one. What have I been learning? Oh, yeah. That's hard. Sweet Home Alabama. Boy, you know, Leonard Skinner's one of those groups. It's like, dang, you know, if they would have kept going. Wow. I mean, the more I've studied their guitarist was fantastic. And to think what he would have came up with in the last 35, 40 years, it's just nuts to think that. It's too bad they all passed. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of those guys like that. Buddy Holly and Stevie Ray Vaughan. Gosh, you know, Jimi Hendrix. To think what. But I guess they lived so hard. Guys like Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan. If they didn't live that hard, they may not have pushed out that much music that quick either. I guess I don't know. But man, Stevie Ray Vaughan. His picture's in my room. I loved his jazzy style. He did Jimi Hendrix with like a bluesy sound, jazz at the same time. His rhythm was so unique. Loved it. If the sun refused to shine, I would still be loving you. Mountains crumble to the sea, I would still be you and me. Hey, what's up, Adam? Rock and roll. Yeah, my versions of songs. I write my own inside of the room. I love Zeppelin. I know you're not as, you like, you don't mind them, but man, I don't know what it is about Zeppelin. Jimmy Page I just love the guitar work that Jimmy Page does, even though he stole most of it. But hey, such a cool little riff. That's what I like about a song like that. I don't have to sing a word. People know what it is. You play some songs, people are like, what is that? It's because it wasn't a guitar-driven song. It was driven by usually a lead singer. Love me some Tracy Chapman. I was watching her video last night. She's such a good singer and a great guitarist. I've got it together. What you doing today, Adam? Listing on eBay? Shipping out stuff? Whew. Right. Got my rock and roll in. I was getting ready to. I love this thing. This is a Dymo. Electra Tag, and it is very handy. Because like for me, I have my boots, and so I can leave my SKU on there, my number that the SKU for the place to know it's mine, my tag, and FRM is firm, because if you have a booth in there and you ask for 10% off and it doesn't say firm, they'll give 10% off. So I put firm on everything, because those guys are just going to resell it in their own booths or something. And then you have the price put in there, so I can just change the price, whatever. And then the very beginning, of course, is the title of what it is. Because you got to put the title what it is, because people will switch numbers with something else, and you just gotta do it. And this is very handy. And what's great about it is these refills are like $2 a piece. I had a brother label maker that wasn't bad, but it was big and thick. This is a lot easier and handier. And the refills were like almost $10. And so this is just way cheaper. And this machine only costs like $18 at Walmart. So it's so nice. I can pump out. I've got more things to take to the to my booths than I do have tags, but I need to tag a bunch of these cards. I sold almost all my Patrick Mahomes cards. Someone came in and bought. You wouldn't believe. I think one of my places, they bought every single Chiefs card I had. It was like $350 worth of cards. So I had to go in there yesterday and stockpile back all those cards. And then I'm going back to my antique booth, and it's got at least half. Most of them are gone too. Someone bought most of them. So I'm going up there to refill. I've got a bunch of antique music cases. Oh, they're so cool. Here, check this out, Adam. You said you're on the road. You probably can't see it, but there's these old music cases, and it has like the leather straps, the real leather straps, and these things are cool. Still sturdy. You know, they're from like at least the 50s, and I'm guessing 40s or maybe even earlier. And I got 5 of these for $20 at a garage sale from a costume designer, and here, but she works in Chicago, and she's, you know, she can't do anything right now because she works on plays and musicals and stuff. You're loading the truck into some. Oh, right on. I don't like pricing. Yeah, can we see labels? Sure. I guess I can just show you one of my old ones. And you can make, I think that's one below the boldest. You can make it more bold. You can change the design, and you can change the end. I just didn't really show it, but the ends, come on, like that part right here. Mine makes it look like a ribbon that's kind of cut off. You can make it all different ways. I think I have it different now, actually. I'll print one off. But I like it for 18 bucks. And they don't stick on there and like stick really bad, but they stick good. I've even stuck it on stuff that I didn't think it would stick. And then there's some things that I have to, that it's easier to tag. And so I'll just stick it onto one of these too, and then tag it, which is very helpful. Let's see, first football game is Thursday. So I need to get this stuff into the booth, because people, when they got their head thinking, when they got their brain thinking about it, they're going to go out and spend the money. I've got some jerseys too. I need to sell some. I've got 5 Mahomes jerseys to put up, and they'll go for about, they were going for 75 to 85 last year. So I'm probably going to price them the same, see how it goes. And of course I buy all large and extra large because that's what everybody's wearing. So I need a medium. I can't even fit in. Mahomes rookie. What are we gonna see? Let's go $49. Yeah. And I got, it's funny is, like these 3 cards, these are Mahomes rookies, but they're actually he's still in his Texas Tech uniform, because sometimes they put this stuff out before they even draft them, so they don't have the team. And these aren't really the best in the world. But when you want to go get a Mahomes rookie, you'll still get a Mahomes rookie. And I was buying these like 3 for $5 about a year and a half ago. And now I'm getting ready to sell these for $50 a piece. So that's why I was a huge baseball player. And so I got really good at scouting talent. And so I've just kept doing it. Just kept scouting talent and just taking chances, and knowing if you're going to do NFL, you have to invest in quarterbacks. And some people I've heard even say recently that they're going to invest in running backs. They think it's going to change because sports cards are so good. I'm like, wow, good luck, but I doubt it. But I hope so, because I have a bunch of running backs I'd love to just get rid of. Saquon Barkley, his stuff, I've got a lot of his stuff, and it sells, especially obscure stuff of his. But in general, running backs last 3 years, 4 years at best. So investing in what? The quarterbacks, they protect quarterbacks. They actually can play. Look at Brady, Peyton Manning, some of these guys, John Elway. They lasted forever, even when they're getting hit. Hey, what's up, Tommy? What are they used for? I guess I missed that. Sorry, I missed that before. Too far back. I don't remember what I said. Hey, what up, Lobster? How you doing? I'm guessing you're grinding it out like you always do, brother. Oh, what are they used for? I forget what I said. Sorry, Adam. How far is Selma from your other store, Adam? It's getting ready to storm here. That's why I had to put up my machinery, and that's what's good about reselling. I can fill in time all the time. There's never not working. I stop mowing, then I start reselling. And in the mornings, I make my YouTube videos and get my shipping stuff. Got all that done this morning. Reselling is quite a benefit, especially if you have a regular job too. If you like to work and you really want to make money, it's pretty killer. And especially for me, I need that money coming in to buy stuff. I like to be able to have money so I don't have to miss anything that is really kick ass. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate you. I saw there was no one on. I'd be playing guitar and doing this anyway. I figured I'd come on and chit chat, have a place for everybody to hang out for a minute. And I think most of us in this community kind of recognize that we kind of like the lives a little bit better than the pre-recorded. There's only about 5 or 6 people we really like the pre-recorded, and mainly that's just because we've always watched them, kind of deal. So yeah, I think in our community, I think we kind of recognize that lives are more fun to engage. It's easier to engage because I think in a reselling community, we kind of recognize too that we don't get to see people very often, and this is a nice way to be able to talk to people. It's not just your family. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. And that's what I like about Tracy and Tommy's show is it's not really about reselling, but we'll talk about it. And so you don't feel like it's just a good place to go chit chat and hang out, even though you get great information from you guys, but you're not sitting there focused on just talking about it. Kind of need breaks from that stuff too. Yeah, it's, like how easy it was I just basically listed 3 $50 cards in a matter of, I don't know, a couple minutes. So there's some things about the flea market and antique booth that's kind of nice because, you're listing on eBay, you have to make sure and this and that, and you don't want to get it wrong. And yeah. Mahomes, man, if it wasn't for him, shoot, who knows if I would have kept reselling? Who knows if I would have started reselling again? Weird to think about now. And if he wasn't a Chief, I probably wouldn't have cared. But since I've been a Chiefs fan forever, let's go $22.95. And like these, I've got like 15 of these I got for almost next to nothing in breaks, and I'm gonna list them for $25 and they sell. My booths, I could probably sell for more, but I just like sell them quick so I can buy more breaks. And that's another thing too is the breaks I buy. There's some like that's Panini Contenders. There's not a lot of high value cards in there, and so the guys that buy breaks may not even buy this break because there's no awesome autograph in it, even though this one does have an awesome autograph, which I got. It's unbelievable, but it's so hard to get that one that you tend to get another card. So I get better chances. I buy these. I want to buy these almost more because I'll get 10 Mahomes cards. Those 10 Mahomes cards make my autograph free, and I can even keep the autograph. And so it's kind of nice because I have the outlet of selling them in my booth, because on eBay, this goes for like $8 on eBay, but it goes $25 in my booth. That's why eBay waters down some things, because you have, it's good as a buyer. Sometimes it's not good as a seller on some items, especially, of course, I'll sell typewriters, bowling balls, all kinds of things, because people in the thrift stores don't buy them. The resellers don't buy that stuff because they know they don't want to ship it. But me, I'll just slip it on over, You got a rookie Peyton Manning. He's a good one. I like to buy Hall of Famers. I buy Hall of Fame baseball players because all they're going to do is pass away and make the money go up. You start trying to invest in these guys that haven't even proven themselves yet. If you want to invest, I'd say buying Hall of Famers is probably just as good as buying trying to buy that good rookie, like everybody's doing the Jaw and Zion. That's not the way to go. You get some of those guys doing all that, you don't recognize that you're investing a lot of money that you don't plan on taking out for years. You could use, I mean, unless you just have money to blow, you can get yourself in a problem, I don't know. That's why I just get it and sell. I sold a Holmes autograph. I probably shouldn't have, because I got it for basically free, but it was kind of hard not to sell it for $2,000. I don't know. 40-minute drive from place to place. Cool. Do you have someone working there all the time for you, or how does that work? You just have someone just running the shop for you? Mr. Delaware. Hey, Jennifer. What up? How you doing, man? Land Sharp Picker. She gets in every chat. She is chat master. Her and Daisy Duke May. And I always remember they were always the nicest in the chats when I first started. Honestly, if it wasn't for Danny May and Jennifer and some of those live chats, I may not have. I mean, I don't know. It made you want to stay around, see what's going on. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, Yeah, get in, get out. I learned that from Kevin Commonwealth Picker, because his business model, he has to, where he's at. You watch his garage sales and stuff. There's not a lot there. It's very poor. It'd be like where I'm from in North Missouri. People aren't buying stuff here in Springfield. There's a bunch of rich people that buy a bunch of crap, buy the new version, just want to throw away the other stuff. It just didn't happen where I was from. So he made me realize that it's about how fast you can turn it, or something will sell and you don't mind sitting on it for a while, and because other people don't do it. Some of those, like him talking about parting out bundles of that was genius. And I've learned I've done that so much. One time I bought right when the shutdown kind of let up and the Goodwills let us come back in. Thanks, brother. I went up there and it was a big, usually it's a Wii and a couple of controllers, maybe one nunchuck, but this one had like a couple steering wheels and some other stuff. And it was $55 instead of they're usually like 35 or 40. But then I looked down and there was a controller in the one of the wheels, and it was gold. I was like, it's probably worth it, So I bought it, $55. If I remember, I had 3 other controllers in there and a couple nunchucks and at least one wheel, if not something else. Anyway, I have to watch that video again. But the gold remote was a Legend of Zelda remote, which I haven't seen another one since I had that one. And that thing went for $69.95. When I comped it, I was like, what? Because I think it was going for like 60. So I just put it up for $69.95 because I knew there was a collector would come through and go, oh crap, I can get that one. And so I paid for the whole thing, and then I parted out the rest of it and sold the bundle, and things like that. Man, that was not. Of course, we bundle used to only be $10 or $35 until the shutdown, so it used to not be worth your time. But now I can get 55, 60 out of that thing. And Rip Jacks Inc. Well, thanks for joining. I don't think I've seen you in here before. I appreciate you. 2 hip chicks. Right on. Appreciate you for joining. Started collecting cards in 80. Hey, that was a good time to 80 to 84. Those are still worth something. Once it hit 85, it was just in 85. That's when I started collecting. But I learned a lot from that stuff, and and honestly, now some of that stuff's worth money if it's gradable. But most of us, like me, I used them like playing cards. I constantly looking at them, because I was a stat freak, and so it's like, ooh, stats. And so I was a weird kid. I remember I had spreadsheets when I was a kid of all the stats from my Royals players that I liked. Until one day, whenever the electricity hit and wiped it all out, and I was like, I'm not doing that again. I don't have Jennifer as the wrench. I'm sorry. I definitely do that. I stopped looking at that since I blah blah blah. Since I started StreamYard, I forget to look at it on YouTube. Sorry. Give those wrenches out. Turn my voice off. It's been a while. Oh no, she's got it. Yeah, Jennifer, throw up links if you want to. That's fine by me. I probably should share this out a little bit, Facebook or something. Rip Jacks Inc. So, what are you? Are you a reseller too? I assume. I don't know if I've seen you in any chats. So, I appreciate you for joining. You know Jennifer Hayes, and you've probably been in chats quite a bit. Facebook. God, I hate Facebook. Only reason that I actually had Facebook deactivated for a few years, but then I wanted to do the card breaks, and they only did it on Facebook Live. I was like, crap. So I joined Facebook again for stupid cards. Swing on by. 20 minutes to Wake Forest. Yeah. Lunch and list. True that. I don't worry about putting videos out. I mean, some of the best resellers don't put videos out. They're resellers. So I wouldn't worry about that. I just like doing it. I think, I always wanted to be a teacher of some sorts, and if someone can learn a little bit of something from me, then heck yeah, it makes it, for me, that's why I do it. I don't know. I think if you do it for any other reason, it's going to be a grind, and then you're not going to want to do it very long because it's not easy, and everybody knows that. Doing pre-recordeds are tough. Takes a lot of time. You pay someone, cool. Selma's huge marketplace. Interesting. Is that like colleges or something? Hey, thanks, Lobster. No spreadsheets. Yeah, my dad got a PC Junior when it was so groundbreaking. My dad was in college, and we lived like 20 miles from there, so he had to have a computer, and so that PC Junior added some spreadsheets on there. I think that was probably like 87 when we got it, something like that. You're a retail store and resale on eBay because retail is dead. Yeah, what's your retail store? Yeah, I mean, you better anything. You got to change with the times. And successful people are always modifying what they're doing. Anybody that sticks in one place, you're going to get stuck. I mean, look at our community. When I first joined the community and how much different, how people do YouTube compared to what it used to be. It's like me now, if I see a thumbnail with a guy that's mouth open, I can't even, I don't want to watch it. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. And there's been a couple there's one I did that on I had this big, like you remember Apollo Creed and Rocky had the big hat that has the American flag on it. I had that on one time, and I was like, and I wasn't thinking about it. And I had my mouth open. And I looked at it later. I'm like, oh, I'm that guy. Crap. But unfortunately, YouTube likes an expression, any expression on a thumbnail for the algorithm. I don't know. I don't. I think with our community, we're not trying to get new people from out of our community. We're just trying to. So I don't think it really matters as much. Farmhouse decor. Wow. Well, I tried to bring Gatlinburg to my little hometown. Big mistake. Oh, where are you at then? I loved Gatlinburg. What a cool little town. We went there as a kid on a vacation. I remember thinking, can we stay here, Dad? Because we go on vacation most of the time. I'm like, that was cool. Let's go. And Gatlinburg was like, man, this is a cool little town. I'm from a town of 2,500 people, so I understand that. I mean, gosh, it was a great place to grow up, but it was a better place to leave. Farmhouse decor, at least it's slowed down a little bit, but well, I guess it slowed down quite a bit. In 2019, that first 6 months of 2019, anything I put in my booth that had roosters on it, no matter the price, gone. Anything John Deere, gone. So there was a time when it was just super hot. And that's what I've learned about reselling is some things are hot, so you better hit it now because you just don't know. That's like everybody's like, sports cards are hot. You know if they're going to be hot forever? I don't know. That's why I sell mine. People look at me like I'm dumb, but you just don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's what most resellers are. We're former hoarders of collectibles, of doing that kind of stuff, and we're kind of curing ourselves of that by selling stuff. That's what I've done, and I've learned it's just better to get that money back to put more money into some other way, unless you don't trust yourself to make more money off that money. But man, I mean, like someone will be met, I've had so many comments when I sell like a Patrick Mahomes card for $2,000 autograph. Like, man, you could have kept that. What's that going to be worth in 10, 15 years? I'm like, yeah, but how much money am I going to make off that money that I just turned? That it would just be sitting in your house. And then with inflation and everything by that time, I mean, and hopefully he's still good. You're banking on that. I mean, I think he's going to be, but you don't know. Freaking, they can blow out their knee and never be able to walk again right pretty quickly. He did last year. So Ripley, Mississippi is where I am. Moonshine Ridge, Pigeon Forge. That's a cool name. Moonshine Ridge and Pigeon Forge is what I want to be when I grow up. Cool. Exactly. And that's why I don't invest in NFL. I'll invest in NBA. I mean, I had LeBron rookies. They finally were worth selling just recently. I got good money for him. But until recently, I mean, he's been in the league for 17 years. He's done a lot of stuff. And and so Zion's rookies are almost worth as much as LeBron's? No. He hasn't even done anything yet. So it's overhyped. It's way overblown. Now, if you bought them and sold them right away, great for you. But if you buy them and sell them and hold them, it's not a very smart idea, in my opinion. I don't know. That's why I invest in baseball. Baseball guys will have 20-year careers, be a Hall of Famer. They can blow out their elbow and come back and still pitch good for another 4 or 5 years. It's not like that in the NFL. You won't even get a chance to be again if you aren't perfectly healthy almost. So when it comes to sports cards, sell all of them quickly, except baseball. And baseball too, because guys will be in the minors for sometimes 3 or 4 years even when they're really good. So you can still buy them cheap for a while until they come up. So you can really scout on some of those guys, if that makes any sense. Yeah, turn and burn. It's like concert t-shirts right now. If you have concert t-shirts from the 80s and 90s and you're not selling them, I wouldn't. That's not very smart, because you got the right ones. You're talking $500 to $1,000 all day, and they go for more on Instagram, and there's no fees. So another point I think everybody should know is we should reach out to Instagram a little bit, especially because I don't know if anybody watched The Auction Professor. I like watching him every once in a while. He got some interesting stuff. He's pretty scaled up, but his theory's like mine. Eventually, most people are going to get to things like this. How much easier it is to list this and store it. I've got 350 listings in the safe, and he does that with postcards. But one thing he was saying was there's some lawsuit out in California, I think it is, on Amazon. And this is just what I caught. I don't know if it's completely right, honestly. But he said that there's some lawsuit and the government's wanting, since 60% of everything sold on Amazon is from resellers, third party guys. Um, they've always, if anything happened with the product and they got sued, they would sue the person, and they couldn't sue Amazon. And the government's wanting to change that. They want Amazon to take responsibility, and Amazon's like been fighting it. But then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we will if you make eBay do it, if you make Mercari do it, if you make Poshmark do it. So they're trying to wipe out their competition. And so it scares the crap out of me that if there is no eBay, or that, I don't know, enough lawsuits, I don't know, I mean, you think eBay would keep going, but who knows? But you just got to always constantly thinking like that's why I like selling on Mercari too, is you need to have other options. I like selling my booths because I don't know, it's been pretty nice at times. There's times where eBay's kind of slow and my booths are actually busier. So yeah, I don't know. Buying stuff to hold. Yeah, that's like Anthony Pittsburgh and every day I'm hustling. They're like saying thank you to get them in the cards and stuff. But when I've watched them, they're just buying to collect and keep, and I'm like, that's a lot of reselling money you're investing to keep that you could be making money on. I'm like, as long as you guys are making plenty of money on top of that, I guess. But man, you got to be careful. All of a sudden, you got $30,000 in cards, and if they don't perform perfectly, you may only have $1,000 in cards. So I just get, I almost feel bad. I'm like, I hope I didn't get them into trouble. I thought they saw how I just get it and sell it, and I don't hold it, and I don't know. Who was that hot rookie in baseball around 2006? I saw a Bowman on for like 300. He hit the pros. He tanked almost immediately. There's a lot of them. And that's a great point right there. And I had a bunch of Ryan Howard cards, and I had them, and I had a bunch. I had like 5 or 6 autographs. I had so many of his rookies because I could get them so cheap. And I didn't put a bunch of money into it, but I put enough. And he hit like almost maybe 400 home runs in very little amount of time. Then all of a sudden he just became terrible. And who knows? That was around the steroid era, so he may have stopped taking steroids or whatever. And I can sell them now, but I'm getting barely anything for them. And it was one of those things. Even though he hit 400 home runs, he's not a Hall of Famer. He's not like super well loved or anything. I mean, people like him from Philly, but it's not. So Alex Gordon, yeah, actually that's right. And it's funny, is he's my team. I'm the Royals fan, and he was supposed to be so good, and he had some mental hoops to jump through when he first got up. He played third base, and he played so bad at third base, and he hit so bad. A lot of times that it carries over. If you're playing bad at third base, you're not going to hit good. And if you're hitting really bad, you're not going to play third base very good because you're thinking about hitting. But anyway, they sent him down the minors, and he was their number 1 pick. I think maybe number 2 pick of the draft. And he finally came back, and they actually retooled him to play left field. When he came back, he was amazing. He's one of the best left fielders I've ever seen. Barry Bonds is close. But he's never hit. He's never hit like he was supposed to. There was one year he was hitting really good, and it's like he finally found it, and he got hurt, and he hasn't hit like that in the last 5 years since. So yeah, that's a perfect example of a guy that ended up having a great career. He ended up playing for 15 years, but he's not a Hall of Famer. He's not he's probably got 120 home runs for his career. So batting probably 240 for his career. So yeah, that was a great sale, especially Bowman autograph, because the Bowmans are just worth more money. And that's another thing people need to know when it comes to baseball and football. They're all different about which ones are actually, really worth putting your money into. That's why I buy Bowman Chrome. I'll show you the Bowman Chrome. Maybe. And the Bowman Chrome looks like this year. It's got the B up there in the top, and it says first Bowman. And this one's, let me see. Well, it's centered perfect. Top to bottom's a little off. But I might send that one in to get graded. And this guy is Bobby Witt Jr. He's the Royals' #1 pick, and he was the #2 pick. A lot like an Alex Gordon. They expect him to be really good. And I bought a lot of his stuff cheap. Got him some breaks and stuff. I got tons of his stuff. So that's what I'll do. I'll take an investment into a guy that he's going to come up quicker. He's going to come up next year. If he comes up next year and plays really good, I got a lot of stuff I'm sitting on. But I can afford that, and I recognize that before I do it. And that's why I don't too much into it. But baseball, boy, if you know what you're doing, but buying the Bowman Chromes, because if you buy some of the other products, you're not going to get your money back, really. Can you send an invoice using Venmo? I don't know. Yeah. You could. Well, no, you send a request. I guess that would be basically considered an invoice. But yeah. Hey, Mike, how's it going, brother? Yeah, Alex Gordon. That's funny because he's still one of my favorite players. He's won the platinum Gold Glove at least once. So that was basically the best defensive player in the majors that year. And he's won a Gold Glove probably 6 times. But no one buys their cards for Gold Gloves. That's just not baseball. It's kind of like football. You don't buy wide receivers to make money on them. I mean, actually, well, you might buy a wide receiver before. Actually, my wide receivers go for more money than running backs, just because the guys are throwing to them. Like I said earlier, Saquon Barkley, you can get some money for him, but maybe Ezekiel Elliott because they're Dallas and New York. Because if it's a big market team or something like that, But otherwise, I mean, you just don't know. Why invest into a running back when you don't know if he's going to last more than 2 or 3 years? They're getting beat up. I played football in high school, and you never believe I was a guard, and I was an offensive guard and a linebacker in high school, and I played nose guard sometimes too, and D tackle even. And I was 205 back then, so I was definitely bigger, but still I wasn't that big. And I was 5'8" and 205. I was a round mound of chunk. I had a big booty. I couldn't wear jeans because they didn't fit me back in '94. They didn't make jeans for a big ass. And it had 29 inseam. But it was fun. It was football was a blast. I was good at it. Baseball was my best sport, but we didn't have it. So epic set. First time I ever spent right. I haven't seen that. I guess I don't know that one. Is that an older one? I think that was back in the day. Upper Deck really doesn't do much of anything anymore that I can find. But there's still always that Score, and I think these are Score, Leaf, Sage, and that's the thing too is when Mahomes are going good, when Mahomes' cards are going great, the Panini Select and the Prisms, that's when you go look at the ones right below it and just go buy up them because everybody's not paying attention to them because eventually those other ones run out and they'll be coming looking for these. So that's one thing I like about sports cards is, I don't know, I guess I just know it good enough from all my years of doing it. But it makes you wonder, I mean, I don't know if anybody else, I'm a huge baseball fan, always have been, but man, it's not much fun. I don't know about anybody else if they've been watching or anything, but man, it is not fun to watch right now. And I don't know if it's me or if it's anybody else feels the same, but those guys are out there, I just never really thought about it. The players are playing to the fans, and there's no fans out there. You never see pitchers going, yeah, or anything. You never see bat flips anymore. It's almost like they're not even excited about playing. They didn't realize they were playing for the fans the whole time. You know what I mean? They almost thought they were playing for their own salaries or whatever. But so, in my opinion, it's not. Maybe once the playoffs hit, it'll be more fun to watch. But right now, and it's not just because my team's not doing good, but it looks like every team's like that. Maybe that whole era of everything's changed so much that people just don't look at it the same. But I don't know. I think that's why I'm worried. I worry about sports cards. I just want to sell them all because I don't know how much people are going to care about this stuff. Even if everything goes back to normal, I just don't know. I don't know. And when there's uncertainty, sell, right? That's my philosophy. Someone's jamming upstairs in our apartment. Good Lord. Probably cleaning. She's probably mad to have to listen to my guitar. Blasted. I love living in an apartment. Some people are like, why would you live in an apartment and not have your own house? I work for people who own houses. I don't want to take care of a house. I really don't have time for that crap. No. I mean, if I had kids and a family, yeah, different story. A single man, do I need a house? If I had a lot of money and disposable income, sure. And just because, but otherwise, I mean, my internet's included, all this stuff's included, makes it easier. And when you don't have someone else helping you with the rent and stuff, it's not as easy. So, no, I've got all my 7s left. I just haven't tested any of them. If you ever want to have a sale, I have a lot of duplicates too to sell. I'd have to sell them on, because my record player broke. Pisses me off. I need to get another one. I just haven't done it. Play a tune? All right. Hopefully Adam doesn't hate this, because this is my version of Blackbird. Not playing it very good. Wow, I think it was the worst Blackbird I've ever done. How about, since there's a Dave fan in the room, no one else usually cares, little number 41. Bell. Thanks for actually wanting to hear a song. I've got so many good sevens. I've got so many good with the sleeves, a bunch of Princes, Madonnas, and even Elvis. What else do I got a bunch, which I like sevens. I mean, you'd always rather throw an LP on and let it play for a while, but I'm always up standing doing stuff anyway, so I don't mind. And I love those sevens that have a B side that's killer, I have to look. I don't know how many Pink Floyd and Zeppelin I have. I got Another Brick in the Wall. I think I might have Another Brick in the Wall. I don't think I have a lot, though. I have a lot of Prince. Yeah, I've got a ton. If you ever want to have a sale, like I said, I haven't. They look great. Some of them don't look like they've even been played, so I know they play great. But I just haven't tested them. Whew. I miss my. I used to take lessons for mandolin. I really enjoyed that because I didn't know much about the mandolin. I didn't know much about bluegrass, so I really had to take some lessons on that. Man, I really enjoyed that, but shutdown screwed that up. And he's like, "Well, we can do it over, live and stuff." And I'm like, "It's not the same." So I've been just waiting, and then he didn't even want to do that. He didn't even want to do that after a while because he's been busy. And he's talking about getting back together and start doing my mandolin lessons again, which I'm excited about because I'm learning something new. Man, I think we all need to be learning something new. I feel like I'm dying if I am not anymore. I don't know. That's why I love reading, just because I feel like you're learning someone else's perspective, at least, and their point of view may not be right or wrong, but at least they're saying what theirs is. Do you have any, Adam? You having any sales here pretty soon? Are you having any? You did a couple days ago, wasn't it? I enjoy watching. I like to hear people's versions of what they like. It's kind of cool. And there's a lot of people joining from our community. They're watching now. I think that's pretty cool. At first, it was just me and Harry over there in your chat, and more T's coming over there. And I think I saw Jennifer over there today. But I just love talking music. Let's check the weather. It's getting ready to pour on us. So it's 86 today. Yep. Storms are getting ready to happen. 86 today, and it's supposed to be like, well, I guess it's not as cold as I thought. It's supposed to get colder. High is just 79. I'll take it. I'll take it. I love fall. Freaking love fall. My birthday's October too. I guess maybe that's probably why. But oh yeah, there's storms all around us. We need the rain. Well, I should jump off here and get some actual work done. I listed 4 things here, but it's kind of cool to show Adam how I list my things. For me, it's just easier. I can pump them out real fast. And this is how I used to do it. Write it all out. All that stuff. And man, after a while, you get sick of that shit. So it's been nice to have something new. And like even some of these, I have old prices on there. I'm going to raise them because they've gone for so much higher. But yeah, I'm glad I saved a bunch of these Mahomes that weren't rookies. There's a few cards that I had with Mahomes that I probably wish I had back just to grade them because they would have been worth more money. I had a couple select Prism rookies of his, and I probably should have graded at least one of them. And I only sold them for like $80 back. But that was before the season last year. But I bought them to sell, so I didn't. It was one of those things I had it in my mind to sell, so I should have probably backed off. And now I bet they go for 200, and if I had them graded, they probably go for 4. So probably screwed that one up. But there's going to be some of those like that. I can't beat myself up over but the autographs and stuff like that. Honestly, I make more money on these than the autographs. When you start thinking about percentages wise, I bought some of these for less than $1 and I'm selling them for $25. And they sell faster. It's harder to find someone that wants to spend $2,000 on a card. So that's all I want to look at it. I had one guy that would just tell me how wrong I was all the time. Like, yeah, okay, But I don't know. I think everybody's learned that with eBay. If it's hot, sell it. Oh, here's another Bolo. And you guys probably already know about it, but he lives in St. Joe, and he says that, and I don't know if it's Bolo everywhere, but he said that he's trying to find ink cartridges because his daughter's printing off more stuff for school during that last little bit, and used a bunch of ink. And he went to buy ink, and he said he couldn't find any in like the 4 stores he went to, Walmart, all these places. Everything said out of stock. And he said he went on Amazon, and it was kind of the same deal. It was almost twice as much as they used to be. So if you got ink sitting around the house, even if it's expired, sell that crap. And I don't know and I've also done this before. One time I went to a garage sale, and they had an ink cartridge and it said $1 on it. Well, they had taped it, and I didn't know it. It was one of those deals. When I got home, like, oh, crap. And so I looked it in. The black one was gone. And no, the black one was in there, but it was used and put back in there so it didn't move, And I was like, that's so bad. I wanted to be so mad about it. And then I'm like, well, I wonder if I just sold the magenta and the cyan, if it would sell. And I think that's the two. And then I put them up individually, said that it expired. I don't know, it only expired like 5 months before. But a person in California both times bought them for like $4 a piece, plus shipping on top. So even back then, that's been a year ago, you can sell them individually. You don't have to have them in the package too. People will buy them, especially like California, places that, and I don't know about you guys, but most of my stuff that I sell, California, Washington. I've sold 2 things to Puerto Rico recently. Texas. It's all coasts, Texas. It's all East Coast, Delaware, Massachusetts, and stuff. For me, I rarely sell stuff in the Midwest. But it's good to live in the Midwest because it's almost all the same price. California is about the only thing. It's a little more expensive. In Puerto Rico, of course, but it's not that much more. Teach you to buy records that take less space in records. Stick with what you're good at. But it's good to learn. But like I said, for me, it's buying breaks. You buy, you live in North Carolina, you buy the Carolina Panthers card breaks. You can buy those cheap right now because they got rid of their quarterback. Was Cam Newton is that right? Cam Newton to New England. So you can buy them really cheap, and in your store, you can sell them because the people around there would pay more money for some of that stuff because they go to the games, they like the players. And so even if they don't sell on eBay, you don't get the real great cards, you can still sell them in your shop. So if I was you, that's what I would do. I would just buy a local stuff. I don't know. That's what I don't know. I might, if I was in North Carolina, I might think about buying NBA cards because, college is so popular there that you can buy a North Carolina college guy that goes to Portland Trailblazers, buy up a bunch of Portland Trailblazers and sell them in North Carolina because their best player went to Portland. So that's what I would do if I was you. But otherwise, you don't want to buy cards It, that's why I love breaks. It's because it's kind of like a storage unit. You buy a bunch of stuff, you get a bunch of extras, you sell one card, and now all the rest of them are free. You're trying to buy one individual card to try to flip it to make more money. That's a lot harder. That's a lot harder. So that's what I would suggest if you ever tried to do that. But if I was you, if you're getting, I don't know, if you're getting video games real cheap, man, video games, it's the best thing on eBay right now. That's better than sports cars still. It just, if you, and what I always do, since I'm not worried about them selling, I usually sell them at the high, above what they sell for. And they still sell because there's a lot of collectors, just like I was telling Adam the other day, there's a lot of collectors that have the version they play, and then they have their version that they have that's the perfect manual, the best cover art, less scratched, sometimes sealed, just for the collection to have, like their collector's set and then their playing set. So, that's why some of the obscure, like an obscure Wii game that may only go for $8.95. You might look and say comp $8.95, but you look and it hasn't been sold for like 2 or 3 months. It's because there's not a lot of them out there. It's not because they don't sell. So sometimes you want to price them high because if they're not out there very much, you got those collectors that really want to buy that obscure stuff. I had a Simpsons, what was it? Simpsons GameCube game. No, I can't remember. It wasn't GameCube, but I actually put it on auction one day, and I got a lot of people wanting that one. And it's not a very good game. It was just to complete their, like, man, I've always wanted that kind of deal. What is a break? Go on eBay and look up Carolina Panthers break and push filter ending soonest, and you'll see that there's people bidding on buying a break. And when you buy a break, is these guys get these huge boxes full of a case full of boxes of baseball cards, and so they'll have, like, it depends on the brand that they're buying, but it could be between 10 to 20 boxes in there. And so then you're bidding on, you get every Carolina Panthers out of all those boxes that they're selling. And sometimes you get lucky and you make $1,000 on 50, and then sometimes you're only making your 50 back. But there's only been 2 times out of breaks that I can remember where I didn't get my money back. And it was almost amazing that I didn't get more cards. It was because, you know what I mean? So I don't know. That's the way I explain it. But someone like me, I like to buy Chiefs. Well, those go for more money. So, but so you just got to recognize. And what I like to do is, when you do those auctions, you find ending soonest. You watch them, see what they're going for before you buy. See what they're going for. Wait a little bit, and then know. And then when you this is what I do in the auctions. Don't ever bid until the very end. Always snipe, but always know what price you want to spend. If you know what price you want to spend, you're not worried if you lose it. You put your 5 seconds in, $20, pop. And if you get it, you get it. You don't. I just like to know. For me, I just want to know exactly how much I want to spend, and then it's easy, And I want a lot of auctions like that for way less, just because. One thing I noticed about auctions, I'd buy on auctions all the time. Buy on auctions and sell, buy it now on eBay. That you can make a whole business model on that, because you can buy Hokas and stuff. And one thing, here's a good tip: when you see auctions ending at noon on a Tuesday, you set your alarm, because most likely people aren't going to, even if they're watching it, they're not going to see it. They're at work or they're doing something, they forget about it. So I set an alarm, and because I set my alarms, I swear I get a lot of auctions that no one would normally get. You can go find like a Hoka shoes. Someone's dumb enough to put them up for 99 cents. You might end up getting them for 99 cents because you're the only one watching, because they had a terrible auction end time. Because a lot of times people will put up a listing on eBay and they just put auction. They don't even think about, like, when they're putting it up, it's going to be when it ends. And so another, I don't know. You just know that you're going to get a better chance at getting that auction if you see it at middle of the afternoon and on a weekday. That's why I always ended my auctions Thursday through Sunday at the least. But most of the time it was Saturday night or Sunday, but most of the time Sunday night. Um, Sometimes Friday because people would get their money. I knew people had their money in their bank account and they might spend more money than they normally do. So I would do that sometimes, but I'm never into auction in the middle of the week. Thursday maybe, but my favorite was to do if you have something really good, because I don't like do auction. I don't do auctions very much. But if you had something really good and you don't know how to comp it, and it's a really good rare item, start it on Thursday, end it on Sunday night. That way you get 2 weekends of views on it. That's I think is one of the biggest keys. I remember Candace, um, your best you. She's getting out of reselling, but we still talk and chit chat and Instagram and stuff. And she was trying to figure out she wanted to get rid of a bunch of her clothes because she did the Poshmark thing, which man, if you're gonna do clothes, make sure they're like at least $25, or else I don't know, is it worth your time kind of deal with the list because it's so hard to list clothes and people want returns on that stuff. But she was asking me what to do. I'm like, if you're just trying to get, because she was just trying to get rid of, she's like, should I do reseller lots and just sell, like do an auction on, I go, no, do an auction on, not on YouTube, but do it on eBay and do that 10-day and just put up, just say reseller lots of clothes, just show some pictures. And I guarantee you, they'll go pretty good money. She texted me back. She's like, yeah, I almost sold them all. And they all sold for really good money. So, it's a good way to liquidate, that's for sure. And you get your money and you get it quick. But uh, I don't, I don't, I bet I ran 2 auctions this year. I just don't do that because you only get about 70% of what you'd like to get it. If you just need the money, that's about the only reason I put an auction. Um, but auctions are fun to watch. When you're selling something that people want, it's fun to watch them bid over it and fight over it. So there was one time a couple of years ago, I put a couple of Mahomes autographs up and, they went for like $400. This was back when they weren't going for that much. And I'd only bought them for 50, 75. And it was funny watching them fight over it. It's a little addicting, honestly. But I probably would have got 450, 500. Because another thing, too, I don't like about auctions, and I think why eBay doesn't realize why people don't like auctions anymore. They want it now. They don't want to wait. And so I found that people stopped bidding on the auctions until very end, like I did. And so the auctions weren't beneficial at all because they want that card, but they don't want to wait a week to get it, to buy it. So I would say it's a great liquidation thing. And that's one thing I like about eBay compared to some of the other sites. You can lot up a bunch of stuff and make some weird lots. And I don't think you can sell mystery lots, but um, yeah, I mean, as much as I hate eBay, I love it too, especially when you've grown up with it a long time ago, recognize how much better it is to buy and sell on than it used to be. I mean, there's always things that suck. I had someone I sent out, I thought I did good. I had this black Wiimote and the black nunchuck and a black steering wheel and a Mario Kart. And I set it real high, $129. Because if I parted it out, I'd only get like 110, but they're going for more. I was just like, I'll see. Someone bought it. I'm like, sweet. I got a message like 2 days later. She's like, I didn't authorize this payment. I'm like, authorize it? I'm like, why did you? I don't know. Maybe it was their kid bought it or something. I don't know. She's like, it's not even here. How do I get my money back? I'm like, you have to return it. I'm like, and I showed her the tracking. I'm like, it's in your state. It's almost there. It's FedEx. I'm like, why did you order it if you didn't want it? And I guarantee it. She's going to open it up and then still send it. You know what I mean? Just send it right back. Give it back to me. Just people are so weird. Like, why did you order it? Like make it my fault that you ordered it. I don't understand. And like, she just wants her money back now before she even gets it to send it back. Like, she's like, how do I get my money? I'm like, you have to give it to me, and it's only been gone. It was only 3 days out. So it wasn't like it was really late yet. So I mean, there's always those people that just think they made a mistake. And so the company is supposed to just stupid Amazon. I hate that crap about Amazon. They've made everybody else have to follow the way they do it, of just like accepting any return when and I don't know if anybody else watches like Amazon return pallets, and you see how many things are, they just ordered it, put the broken one in it, and send it back. They just do it. People just do that constantly. They probably have a business model, just that's all they do. And those Amazon pallets are like, I bet 20% of the stuff on there is even worth it. I wouldn't buy any of that crap. You're just going to end up, the time sifting through it, the crap, and then the time to take that crap to either the dump or the Goodwill, but the money you made on it, you've probably lost in time fixing all the other stuff that, I don't know. Unless you have a really good system down, I guess, maybe. But all right, well, thanks everybody. Grind on, and I'll catch you in the chats the rest of the day, I'm sure. Thanks for everybody that joined and finds something interesting enough about this to take with them, or they're just so bored they have to listen to me. I don't blame you. But grind on, friends, brothers and sisters.